This meeting is being recorded.
I thought I was the only one who heard that. I was like, where did that happen? But
Hey, Xavier.
Isaac, my friend, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty good myself.
That's great, man. Good to see you.
Indeed. It's great to see you. How's the fam doing?
Oh, they are doing well.
Good.
Yeah, baby's growing fast. It's incredible.
They tend to do that.
Yeah, especially this one. He's getting fat now.
It's your wife's good
It might be on his genes.
Is everybody there?
Yeah, Matt's saying he's got a problem starting his video.
Oh, okay.
But let's see. Oh, it's not even in the meeting.
Sorry, Alex and I are like stuffing our faces. And we have two different computers right now, so I can do evaluations. It's pretty funny, but how's everyone been holding up?
Good.
Hmm.
Yeah, good. Not too bad. So why do you have two computers again? Any reason?
Because Glen's doing evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
A little easier.
It reminds me of one of the video which I saw where everyone in the group meeting was passing a pencil into the other person and the other person was catching it, and that's how they tried to communicate.
Where is Kelly? She's going to speak today, right?
Yeah, she is.
She was the one that was on as Matt and said that she couldn't get the video to work, so she's trying to come back in with video.
Oh, okay. Hey, Roberta, are you ready? You're always ready.
Where's Preetham? I have not seen him since a long time. Does anyone know where he is?
He's alive. I saw him this morning.
Okay. Like he usually never misses a meeting, and like last meeting also he was not there, and I'm like surprised. He's not here.
Yeah, I don't know what's up. So we know how Gorov's feeling.
Hello.
It looks like you've at least got coffee back there, though, Gorov. So it's not that bad.
Yeah, everything's fine.
So who are we missing, Mr. Toastmaster?
Sorry.
Then who are we missing?
Let me check. Well, we have Ashutosh, Bhakti. Oh, okay, she's there. And Kelly's here. Deborah. Oh yeah, she's here. Ajita is here. I think everybody is there. Yeah, we have everybody.
Wait.
Yeah, Can we start? Yeah, sure. Okay.
Kelly,
So hello
your
everybody.
speech is a video. I can't see Kelly. Yeah.
Maybe just don't have her be the first speaker. And
Okay.
then give some time to get the video set up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We're here. I just can't get the video.
We're trying to do it on
start.
the phone. What day was this email?
Anybody have any suggestions who may have had difficulty doing the video in the past?
Ours.
Do you guys have a computer to go on? I think it would be easier.
Yeah, we're on the computer.
Oh, you're on the computer. So there's a video button, like a video camera. And if you click that, just like nothing happens. Because you might have to go like into the video settings and choose your camera. And that would just be like the little arrow right next to the video camera button.
Tonton Cyril
Hey, Jilanki. How are you?
I'm fine.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
She's hiding behind the chair. So she recognized you. Usually she comes to my meetings, she doesn't know people, but today she just came and said, she's Tonton Cyril. I said, yeah.
Okay.
We see you, Matt.
Matt is there?
Although we can't hear him now.
Ah, Matt. Why is that?
You can have the audio on the computer and video on the phone.
Yeah, you could go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ah, okay.
We'll just figure out something.
Cyril?
Yeah.
Okay, hello, everybody. Welcome to this online meeting. Please join me in welcoming our Toastmaster of the day, Cyril.
Thank you very much, Hassan. It's with a great pleasure that I will be the Toastmaster of this meeting today. And it's actually my first time to be the Toastmaster at the Tigertales Toastmaster meeting. So I would be very glad if by the end of the meeting, each of you can send me just an evaluation just for me to see how I am doing and I could improve for the next time. So today, the theme of the day is spring cleaning. So for those who know, I am from Africa, Burkina Faso, and we have only 2 seasons. So with my family, we don't talk about spring cleaning. We'd rather talk about New Year's cleaning. Because when New Year's comes, we clean everything in the house. And I remember growing up, I really enjoyed that because it was the opportunity to see all my old stuff, my old games and toys. And also, it was a sign that Christmas was there and that New Year's was there. And this always means a lot of food and a lot of fun. So today we will be having 3 speeches. And before we move to the speeches, I would like to invite our functionaries, managers, to talk about what they will be doing. So today our counter will be Ashutosh. Please welcome Ashutosh to explain his role of our counter.
Hello everyone, good evening. Today I'll be your R counter, and throughout your speeches, I'll be looking for filler words that you will be using repetitively, like etc. And yep, basically I'll be looking for trends in your speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashutosh. And today the grammarian is Xavier. Please welcome Xavier.
Oh, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Tonight I'll be the grammarian, and that entails me looking for both good and bad uses of grammar. So things that need improvement or things that you guys do well that need to be highlighted so everyone else can do them too. Additionally, we have a word of the day. It is pristine, which means clean and fresh, which is perfect for spring cleaning. And example sentence, Lou, my housemate, make sure that our house stays pristine.
Thank you, Xavier. And the timer today is Bhakti.
So for the prepared speeches, you will have 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll be showing a green card. Hopefully my phone is visible to everyone. So at the end of 5 minutes, it will turn up green color. At the end of 6 minutes, it will turn into yellow. And at the end of 7 minutes, it will turn into red. After that, you have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech.
Thank you, Bhakti. So now we can move to our speeches. And today, as I mentioned before, we will be having 3 speeches. And the first speech will be evaluated by Chitra. And Chitra is a computer science engineer, and she's turning into a business professional, which is kind of really interesting. And I asked her if she enjoys spring cleaning, and she said, cleaning is always on my to-do list. It's never in my to-do list. And I feel accomplished for the day when the surrounding near me is clean. And I'm looking forward to having a full-fledged cleaning routine after the exams are done. So I was laughing at that because what my plan after the exams is just sleep. Okay, and Chitra, please explain us what your role will be today.
Hello, everybody. Today, Kelly is giving a speech on her planning, innovation planning pathway, level 2 and project 3. She's going to be talking about her experience on mentorship, and I'm looking forward to hearing her speech and how she connects with the audience in an emotional level. Thank you.
Thank you, Chitra. And yes, Chitra will be evaluating Kelly Mack, and she has many roles in life, and some of them include working as a home care physical therapist. She's a mother of a very active 2-year-old daughter, and she's a wife. She's married to Matt, and she has been dedicated member of the Tigertales for about 4 years. I've also asked her what she thinks about spring cleaning, and she said, I enjoy freshening up the home, getting rid of things I've held back on all winter, opening windows to smell the fragrance of spring, and feel a good sense of accomplishment when projects get done in the home or yard. So please welcome Kelly for her speech.
Learning can come from many different people in our lives. One huge aspect of learning can come through having mentorship. I generally have a willingness to learn, a desire to overcome challenge, and have found that having mentors in my life gives me ways to grow and call me higher. As American actress and comedian Whoopi Goldberg says about mentorship, we're here for a reason. I believe a bit of that reason is to throw little torches out so we can walk through the dark. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. My first mentor in life was my mother. She took on the role of raising me throughout my childhood, influenced the ways I thought about what was right and what was wrong, and gave me a safe foundation to start my life. I remember back in kindergarten, I had a chance to take a dance class when my teacher said there would be one offered after school the next day. I woke up early the next morning, and to be extra prepared, I slipped on my tights and I put on my leotard underneath all my clothes so I'd be super prepared. The thing that I didn't calculate was after class, I was told, oh, do you have your mom's permission and the money to take this class? As I started walking out there and said, oh yes, my mom walked in and reminded me, no, I did not have her permission. Darn. I started to learn what was right and what was wrong from her examples in life. And she was someone that was easy for me to talk to about hurts, fears, and when I was lonely. She tried to warn me about slowing down and not overcramming my schedule. I didn't realize this until later in life, how valuable that lesson would be to deal with my problems when I started getting very busy. Next, we're going to fast forward to my teenage years. And my mom was still a big influence in my life, but I realized I needed another woman who could bring compassion, be able to refine me, and help nurture my faith again after my dad had left when I was 12. My mom encouraged me to join a youth group called Young Life when I was in high school, and it was there that I met a woman named Tracy. One of the biggest impacts she had on me was actually a situation I had dealt with at a local McDonald's. After club meetings, we would go to McDonald's to get to know one another a little bit better. And one day after we had went, no, it wasn't the best burger and fries that she bought me that was the impact she had made. But she walked over and saw me standing in a corner by myself and brought me out of a state of self-pity by saying, "Hey, Kelly, how are you? How are things going?" It snapped me out of that state and helped to remind me that I had worth again. Another aspect that Tracy helped me with was giving me some healthy coping skills. In high school, I had my first serious dating relationship with a guy for about 2 years. And after we broke up, the way I dealt with it was physically hurting myself to get his attention. Tracy reminded me that my identity was not found in a man, and that part of the reason I probably was hurting myself to get the attention of a man was because my father wasn't around to give me the attention that I deserved. These lessons were invaluable, and I'm so appreciative of what she taught me to help me start into my independent college years. We fast forward more into my life, and throughout college and my young adulthood, mentors kind of came and gone like a yo-yo. It was more recently that a good friend of mine had the discernment to see that I needed a life mentor. I had a similar experience in life as this woman, as we had both just gotten married within the same year, and then both had our first child within 2 weeks of one another. As many of you might know, this woman's name is Roberta. Her life example helped to show me that I could persist in the hard things, not stay stuck when it was comfortable, and she called me to be something higher than I wanted to be. For instance, a lot of times in the first to second year of raising Eden, it was easy for myself to call myself a bad mom for doing things. She was able to gently remind me that comparing myself was not the right thing, and that I always had my daughter's best interests at heart. She called me to be someone higher and to not fear when those around me might judge me for my decision. Also, a way that I dealt with my feelings often was to put on a mask of superficiality of being happy, kind of like a clown who has a painted smile on their face and is walking around all day long. That was me. So to uncover this mask, she helped expose areas of my heart I didn't even know I could access. This was vital in helping me to connect with other people so that I could be more authentic. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing to be happy, but when you're using a mask to cover up your real feelings and your true self, it's not going to help you in growing relationships. I'm so thankful for the treasure that I found in Roberta and for her always calling me to be something higher. Mentors are a vital part of our lives. My mother, Tracy, and Roberta have all shown me the examples of what having mentors in my life can do. If you have a mentor, access the power and know they can't only help you grow as a Toastmaster, but also in life. Mr. Toastmaster.
Cyril?
You're muted, buddy.
Your mic is turned off, Cyril.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Kelly. And I'm sorry for a microphone. So our second speech today will be delivered by Roberta Benedict, and she will be evaluated by Deborah. So please, Deborah, explain us how you will be evaluating Roberta today. Welcome, Deborah.
Thank you, but I think we need a minute though to give Kelly some positive comments, if that's okay. Then I'll jump in.
Oh, all right. Okay, yeah. So I would ask the timer to help us time this. Can you take just 1 minute and send a love note to Kelly? Mr. Timer, Mrs. Timer, are we good? All right, thank you very much. And now, welcome, Deborah.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. So Roberta is working on her level 3 elective. And so she is actually doing body language. So she wants me to keep an eye out for how she's using body language, which will be very interesting with this medium. So I'm looking forward to hearing Roberta's speech and just kind of going from there to see if I can add anything to it.
All right. Thank you very much, Deborah. And today, Deborah's speech will be the art of peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And she's currently teaching at RIT, writing grants, and working at a battery startup company, which is called Select Technology, as well as she's a mother of 2 young kids, Ziki and Hazel. I asked her what she thinks about spring cleaning, and she said, I don't enjoy any kind of cleaning, really, spring, summer, or fall. I prefer making messes because normally that means something is being created. So please welcome Roberta for her speech.
Do you know audacious ally or jabbing jerk? What about negative Nancy? I'm sure you do. Perhaps you know them by other names or no names at all, the voices that live inside your head or outside. Audacious ally is the person who is boldly with you in the thick of things when it's hard, but challenges you to grow and look onward and upward. The jabbing jerk is the person who undermines your work despite not having any expertise in that given subject matter. Negative Nancy, that person is the expert and they have the facts and figures, but all they want to do is look at the negative. Oh, and one more. Champion cheerleader, this is the person who champions your dreams and speaks life and energy into what you're capable of doing. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and if there are any guests out there, I was preparing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for my son, Zeke, listening to the repetitive whine, one sandwich, one sandwich, one sandwich, asking the universe, does a mother ever do right by their toddler? Knowing no matter how quickly I slap together this peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it will fall short of the tantrum toddler that is my impatient son. At this time in my life, I was meditating, exercising, and doing yoga a lot. And in that moment, my meditation did well for me as I was able to take a deep breath and let go of the seemingly insignificant stress that comes from a peanut butter and jelly crisis. I was doing yoga regularly. I was doing yoga like it was my job, like my life depended on it, like it was going to help me deliver a baby. Did I mention I was profoundly pregnant at this point? I was so pregnant at this point that my belly entered the party before I did most of the time. Every waking moment was spending energy thinking about how to have a quick and smooth delivery for this baby, 2 weeks out from my delivery date. The reason? My last pregnancy, 18 months prior, was not smooth or quick by any definition. So whether it was downward dog, flowing goddess, any yoga move that was out there, I was doing it. My medical provider in my previous delivery had told me I was destined to have medically assisted labor and delivery for any future pregnancies. She was definitely a negative Nancy, only wanting to look through a negative lens. And that was not the type of energy I wanted to carry in to this pregnancy. I needed to find a champion cheerleader. As I was releasing the stress of the peanut butter and jelly crisis, I hear, ping, a new email from my newest client had just come in. I stole 2 seconds to look at my computer, confirming what I knew to be true. It was my new client, a team of college faculty I was writing a $500,000 grant for. I started to feel the stress rise because I knew this email was coming in too quickly. I had just sent the draft off an hour ago. There was no way they could be providing meaningful feedback in that amount of time. And I was right. As I skimmed the email, while it was civil, it was definitely full of undertones of hostility. The jabbing jerk critic was questioning everything about this document, even though we had had plenty of conversations ahead of time about how to approach the topic in the best way possible. I started to feel my own inner critic rise. Oh, was it really that bad? I spent so much time over the weekend working that over. And between that, being 175 weeks pregnant, I had lost a lot of sleep. Stress, frustration, inadequacy. My inner critic was blaring loud and clear. It was just then, as I got the peanut butter and jelly cut and onto Zeke's plate, that I heard my phone buzz. I looked over and saw it was my boss. She was on the email too from my client. So I'm juggling a sippy cup, a knife, and my phone, trying to pick up before it goes to voicemail. I'm guessing you saw the email from Samantha. Her name's not really Samantha. I changed it to protect the guilty. So yeah, I'm guessing you saw the email. Don't worry about it. You did a really good job with the grant. It's exactly what I would have written if I wrote it myself. So if you need help constructing a reply, just let me know. Relief. As the frustration of that jabbing critic, I was able to put it behind me. In this moment, my boss was my audacious ally. She was using this moment to not only make sure the work got done, sitting with me in the tough parts, but teaching me to look onward and upward. Fast forward with me 2 months. One healthy baby girl delivered in just 4 hours naturally. Several peanut butter and jelly sandwiches successfully delivered, and a $500,000 grant awarded. And I was reveling in the truths of all of these scenarios. In every part of our lives, in every event, and almost in every moment, we have a critic we can listen to. Someone that points out the positive or the negative, and we have a choice. As for my tantruming toddler, my point isn't to get gold stars with him about how fast I can make sandwiches. It's about preparing him for the future, and that means learning how to have patience. As for my negative Nancy, I was able to change healthcare providers and find someone who could look at my situation and help me sort out facts from fears. And she was there alongside me as I delivered my baby girl. And as for that jabbing jerk, I want to do right by my clients. But in a case where I have somebody that's walked the territory and done the work, that's the voice I need to lock in on, my audacious ally. So again, whether it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or a $500,000 grant, we all have critics we can listen to. We all have people that can build us up or tear us down. Which critic are you going to listen to, Mr. Toastmaster?
Sorry. Please take 1 minute of your time to send a love note to Roberta. Thank you very much, Mrs. Timer. Now we are going to listen to our third and last speech of the day, which will be delivered by Ajita. Ajita will be evaluated by Mami, who is coming from an IT and project management background. He is a student. He's studying public policy here at RIT and is very passionate about technological innovation and data-driven decision making. I asked Mami if he enjoys spring cleaning, and he said, I rather tend to avoid dirt and mess around me because I don't like spending time on cleaning. So please welcome Mr. Mami, who will be explaining us how he will be evaluating Ajita. Welcome, Mami, please.
Yeah, hello everyone. Ajita is giving her first speech tonight in Innovation Planning Pathway. The purpose of the speech is for her to present a speech of any topic and receive feedback and be able to apply that feedback on a second speech in the near future. Tonight, Ajita is expecting us, all of us, and specifically myself, to look for effectiveness of her gestures and vocal variety in this new format of online speaking. I am looking forward to seeing how Ajita will connect with the audience through effective use of gestures and vocal variety tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mami. So Ajita is a computer science student at RIT, and I've asked her what she thinks about spring cleaning, and she said, spring cleaning, not sure, but we used to have a huge cleaning just before Diwali. I used to enjoy it specifically because during these cleaning sessions, I would get through all the old photos from my childhood and reminisce my childhood memories. So please welcome Ajita for her speech.
After securing good grades in 12th standard and securing a spot in one of the prestigious colleges in my state, I decided to leave my home and pursue my bachelor's degree from Pune University. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, this was the first time I was stepping outside my home and going to stay somewhere for 4 long years. My heart was filled with fear and anxiety. As the days came closer, every day my mom would try to convince me not to go. She would tell me, why don't you study somewhere close? Despite the fear, I was determined to go. Finally, the day arrived when I was at the train station and I was bidding goodbye to my mom, dad, and with teary eyes, I embarked on this new journey. Next day, I reached the school and there was a huge queue where all the incoming students were standing in front of the registration office. While standing in the queue, I noticed someone talking in my mother tongue. Suddenly, I turned back. In all the chaos and excitement, something sounding familiar was a bit of relief. I went ahead and tried to see who was that. It was a very simple looking girl with the most genuine smile standing in the queue with her parents. I went and introduced myself. Her name was Nikita. Later, we both requested and got assigned to the same room in the hostel without thinking how we were on this journey to become best friends for life. First year is generally common across all disciplines of engineering. So we both used to study together. As the semester progressed, we both started knowing each other better. Nikita was the sweet and shy person, and me being the talkative one. As we were getting to know each other, we were sharing stories of our existence so far. We used to study together, and during exam times, Nikita was so determined and hardworking that she used to study up till late at night. And me, trying to mimic her determination, would always end up sleeping on my books in my lap. Later, I realized that staying up late was not my strength. I was more of a morning person and could study with a fresh mind in the morning. The first year passed. We both passed with good grades. Now, I was in my department of specialization, which was IT, and she was in computer science. Although we were in different departments, we still had some converging topics related to programming language. While learning the programming language, which was C, I always used to question the rules of grammar until someone told me, it is the way it is. The earlier you learn the rules of grammar of a language, the easier it is to learn it. After I accepted these rules and started mastering the language, every time I was stuck at a problem, Nikita used to help me debug it. Slowly, I learned her mantra of success. It was the more you teach others, the better you get at it. So I started doing the same. Every time some of my classmates was stuck at a problem, I would voluntarily go ahead and help them with the debugging. And every time I helped them, I would learn something new from their mistakes. Slowly, I gained mastery and was at the top of secured good scores and became the topper of my department with the highest GPA. Nikita too climbed her ladder of success. There was so much positive energy in our room. We both kept pushing each other in everything we did. I pushed her to do things apart from studies, like exploring different places around Pune. We went to a lot of hikes, participated in cycling races around the pristine Sayadri mountain ranges. Sometimes we would watch movies endlessly over weekend, while other days we would go and play for our college badminton team. We created this perfect balance of work hard and party harder in our own little ways. It was the final year, and everyone was tensed about the placements. After a couple of rejections, I was able to secure not one, but 2 job offers. One was in Pune and the other one was with GE Healthcare in Bangalore. After leading my life in Pune to the fullest extent and being surrounded with good friends, I decided to go to Bangalore to see what else life had in store. Whereas Nikita decided to take up a job and continue staying in Pune. Now was the time that our journey together was coming to an end. It was the last day in college, and we were sad to leave each other, but were happy to have found each other and shared in this pure bond of friendship. Nikita was a friend, mentor, and family during those 4 years which we spent together, and because of that, we became friends for life. As Eleanor Roosevelt rightly said, many people will walk in and out in your life, but only true friends will leave footprints in your heart. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Ajita. Now we are going to take 1 minute of our time to send a love note to Ajita. Thank you very much, Mrs. Timer. Now it's time to move on to our next session, which is the table topics. Hassan will be leading the table topics today. He's an MBA student at RIT, and he's a very passionate member of the Toastmaster Club. I've asked Hassan what he thinks about spring cleaning, and he said, I didn't know what spring cleaning was before your email, but I'm sure I will enjoy doing it this Sunday. So I guess Hassan and we had the same background. We have the same childhood where spring cleaning will be called New Year cleaning. So please welcome Hassan.
Thank you, Cyril. Thank you, everybody. I'm today the table topics master. This is a part of the meeting where we hone our skills in impromptu speaking. So we all know the rules. We are going to have 3 people who will answer a question, and in the end, we'll vote for the best speaker. Before we start, I would like to ask our timer for a reminder about the time for this session.
So for table topics, people have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. At the end of 1 minute, the timer will turn green. At the end of 1.5 minutes, it will turn yellow. And at the end of 2 minutes, it will turn red. After that, you have 15 seconds to wrap up your speech. Mr. Table Topics.
Thank you very much. So to qualify for best topic speaker, you will have to be in the right time, but also to use the word of the day, which is today, here.
The word of the day for today is pristine, which means fresh and clean. Example sentence is, Hassan's about to have so much fun making his house pristine on Sunday.
Thank you very much. So what we are going to do today, I will show you 3 pictures without caption, and you will tell me what's the story behind these pictures, or what this picture that they are telling us. You're gonna have fun. So who's the first volunteer for table topics?
Me.
Oh, Gurav. Thank you very much. So for the first picture, we are going to my country, Niger. A picture by Naino. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see.
So what do you think is the story behind this picture?
Okay. All right. So clearly, someone grew up with a camel, and their parents, instead of giving them a dog, thought it would be nice to give them a camel. And as they grew, their friendship grew. And as they hit the age of 16 and had to go to college, they decided that, they'll take the camel with them. Little did they know that the camel had also grown bigger, taller, stronger. And while they were traveling, its head kind of struck out of the window. And then he was pulled over by this cop who was very casually dressed. And that cop pulled him over and said, you are signaling right. And he said, no, that's just my camel. And that's how this picture came to be at this very pristine location. Mr. ToastMasters.
Thank you, Gaurav. Second volunteer. Pritam. Pritam. So I will show you a picture by Pete Souza. It's in the USA. I don't know. Let me show. Can you see the picture?
Yes.
So what do you think this picture is telling us?
Can you stop sharing the screen, Hassan, so that I can see everyone?
Sorry?
Can you stop sharing your screen so that I can see everyone?
Okay.
Okay, that picture reminded me of the Duracell ad, where Duracell is the battery that runs forever, and in their advertisements they have their bunnies that use these batteries and run forever. So one of the things that I am sure this bunny was doing their spring cleaning, making whatever house they are in, trying to make it look pristine. And because Roberta is trying to develop the battery technology that will never make the bunny go tired, the bunny obviously ran out of their juice. Now she looks tired and is wondering what else, where is that next battery going to come from that will help me continue my spring cleaning. So the bunny is my friend, and her name is Kelly. And I am sure because her name is Kelly, she also, while cleaning, she took some time to dance out her stress. Now she is sitting down and feeling like the cleaning and the dancing did not go well at all, and my batteries ran out very fast. So the next thing that she is going to do after she makes her house look pristine is call Roberta and ask Roberta to come up with the battery that will never make her go tired. Mr. ToastMaster.
Thank you, Pritam. So our third and last topic speaker. Do you have a volunteer?
I think Matt wants to.
Matt? Okay. Let me see. Okay. Can you see the picture? Matt? I think you should unmute.
Okay.
Okay, so this is me talking with Daniel Rex, CEO of ToastMasters International. So what do you think is the story behind this picture?
I'm sorry, who is the man that's sitting next to you?
Daniel Rex, the CEO of ToastMasters International.
Oh. All right. So this is Hassan and his family. And Hassan was turning last year 28, and there was a large celebration. And his brothers and his best friend and his cousins had all gathered for a large, sumptuous feast after his mother had pristinely cleaned the house and invited them all over. And there was an extra chair, and there's happened to be a man who looked a little different wandering down the avenue outside of the house, and they said, "We have one more chair. Here's a man. Come on in." And what do you know? This man just happened to be the international CEO of ToastMasters. What a fortuitous occurrence. And so after having amazing appetizers from this West African country that Hassan is from, got into a very adventurous conversation with Hassan about how to connect across different cultures and peoples. And as this man had shown up in blue jeans and a plaid shirt, he was given this wonderful garb from Hassan's closet to wear instead, so that he could experience the family of Hassan. And they made an incredible connection. And this man, whose name is Derek, convinced Hassan to join his Toastmasters in his country 7 years ago, which is when this happened. And Hassan has since developed all kinds of amazing skills. And because of this birthday with an extra chair, here we have Hassan with us today, leading our table topics. Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Matt. So, Bhakti, are all the speakers qualified for best speaker?
Yes, everyone was within time.
Xavier?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Gaurav, but I didn't hear you use the word of the day.
You did it at the very end.
I did it at the very end. I called that place where the cop held them up as pristine.
Oh, jails pristine. Got it.
Okay, so we have to vote now for the best speaker. Thank you very much, all. Now I will give the floor to the Toastmaster of the day, Cyril.
I'm not looking.
Who's the vote counter?
You can, you can send me a private message and tell me who you think is the winner.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Table Topic Master. Now we are going to move on to our next step, which is the general evaluation. The evaluation will be led by Tani. Tani is a grad student at RIT, and I asked him if he enjoys spring cleaning, and he said, "I don't enjoy any sort of cleaning, but I do clean stuff out when it comes on my way." So now we are going to welcome Mr. Tani to lead the general evaluation.
Thank you, Cyril. Good evening, everyone. So let's begin the next section of the Toastmasters meeting, which is evaluations. And in this section, the speakers that we listen to in the first half of the meeting will receive feedback from the evaluators. To begin, we'll first call up the first evaluator of the evening, which is Chitra, who was evaluating Kelly. Chitra, can you share your evaluation of Kelly?
Hello, everyone. This was a nice place to evaluate and grow. And today I get to evaluate my own mentor's speech, where I've learned so much from her, and I'm here to share my ideas about her speech. I really liked how she stood up for the speech and gave her some space and where she could move in for each mentor and show that even in online meetings you can approve at stage space is essential, and you can make people relate what each person was in each side a person was talking about. I really liked how she brought in the three greatest mentors she has in her life and how she incorporated them in her life's experiences and how she is learning from that. There are many a times where we learn from it, we're thinking it's and this is where she comes into play and says that these are the learnings I get and how I also put them in my life. I really like that. Um, gestures where she had snapped a finger and also had the clown expression, so trying to gauge audience's attention visually also, and not and had a very good vocal variety where she had given every emotion of what she felt before she had a mentor and how she felt after the mentoring, and showed that there was an increase in confidence and increase in boost in her character. That I really appreciate that. um, I would have if I had to include something, I would say that giving a word to each mentor to show and saying like roaring robot or something, like where she helped you to roar your voice and bring you out somewhere where you can connect with the person's name and what they meant for you, which would connect the story and how they are for you. I would suggest that. Other than that, I really liked how you had a good lighting, unlike us. We are in a very bad lighting situation. Yeah. To the general evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Chitra. We'll move on to the next evaluator, who is Deb, and Deb was evaluating Roberta. Deb, can you share your evaluation of Roberta's speech with us?
Yes, thank you, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, but more specifically, Roberta. Roberta's track was on effective coaching and using body language to make that effective coaching more effective. A little redundant, sorry about that. Roberta, I loved your example. I loved your alliterations from the negative Nancy, the audacious ally, champion cheerleader, jabbing jerk. They're all things that stick in our head. I thought that was great how you were able to just be able to come up with those alliterations, but also attach such relatable stories to them. You know, I can imagine that as, you know, we're hearing your stories, we have people in our heads like, yep, that person's a jabbing jerk. Yep, that person's a champion cheerleader. That we start to very easily be able to connect and relate to the stories you're sharing. Overall, with your body language, I thought you did a great job of being able to use the space. I know we kind of have like this Vogue box situation happening here virtually, but I loved how you pushed the camera out a little bit, and you're able to do things like the juggling gestures, the fast forwarding, the pregnant belly. But my favorite thing that you did was you did this thing where you kind of broke the barrier. So you kind of used, I've noticed, this virtual medium to kind of break that barrier, like this woman's name isn't actually this. I just thought that was really effective and really a great way to use the space that you have. When I think about just some areas of actually enhancing your speech, I know Zeke, and I know his tantrums can be epic, and his drama. I think you could enhance the drama a little bit. We've all seen it from little Zeke. We love him. He's 2. It's how it goes. The falling on the ground, just like the instant putty that I know he can become. I think too, I noticed that with some of your alliterations, you had some gestures to go with it. So maybe solidifying more gestures to go along with negative Nancy and the audacious ally. I'm not exactly sure what that would look like, whether that's like a negative or, but coming up with some kind of hand gestures to help enhance and tie in that personality, that inner voice that you're trying to portray. So overall, you did an excellent job with the stories, the alliterations. I think it really stuck with the viewers, and just kind of looking at ways of pumping up the drama a little bit, pumping up the gestures a little bit. But overall, I loved your speech, love the topic, and I think it's something that we all really connect to, especially during this time. So thank you, Roberta.
Thank you, Deb, for that evaluation. We'll move on to the next evaluator, who is Mami, and Mami was evaluating Ajita. Mami, can you share us your evaluation of Ajita with us?
Sure. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow ToastMasters, and especially Ajita, I really enjoyed your speech. Throughout, from the beginning to the end, you kept us captivated and interested in what you were saying. You used a great talent of storytelling, from your hometown to the train station to the college and to the registration office. Everything was clearly explained and the speech was really well connected. You were able to use comparison and contrast to tell us what kind of person you are and what kind of person your friend Nikita was. I have never met Nikita before. I'm not even sure I'll meet her ever in this life, but you were really able to create a visual connection between us and Nikita for her physical appearance, mental strength, and her ability to do things. You even used the rule of three while talking about her, saying she was a friend, a mentor, and a family member. That was very interesting. You wanted us to look for your effectiveness of the use of the gestures and the vocal variety. For the gestures, yeah, you had great ones, though we couldn't see the entire body. Yeah, this is a video communication. We could only see your face. You had nice smiles that we could really enjoy. And sometimes you change the vocal variety to express different personalities. So overall, you really had a nice speech. If I could suggest any area of improvement, it would be to show your emotions while expressing some anxiety or negative feelings, because you smiled throughout the speech and we could see you happy everywhere. But by the way, you said you were anxious sometimes, you were frustrated sometimes in certain situations. So showing those emotions through your facial expression would also improve your speech. So thank you for your speech. I really look forward to hearing your next speech, where you will tell us more about what Nikita has become. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Mami, for that evaluation. And now we'll move on to a functionality report. First, we'll start with our R counter, Ashutosh. Mr. R counter, can you share us your report with us?
Today we had excellent speeches, a few ahs and ums in different people. So Kelly had a few extra ands in her speech. Roberta had one ah. Ajita had one pause in her speech, while Gurav in his table topics had a lot of ands. While in the evaluator section, Chitra used a lot of ahs. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Ashutosh. We'll move on to the next functionary, which is a timer, Bhakti. Bhakti, can you share us your timing reports with us?
So Kelly had her speech within 7 minutes and 26 seconds, which was pretty close. Roberta had her speech within 7 minutes and 20 seconds, again quite close. Ajita, you were at 6 minutes. I'll move on to the evaluators. Chitra, you were within 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Deborah, you were within 3 minutes and 16 seconds, again pretty close. And Mami, you were within 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So that's the timer's report for today.
Thank you, Bhakti. Now we'll move on to the last evaluate report, which is grammarian's report. And to present that, we have as grammarian Xavier. Xavier, can you share us your report with us?
I absolutely can. Thank you. I really wanted to focus on the speakers tonight because they made my job easy. I wasn't looking for anything bad, or I didn't have to because they didn't have any. But first, I want to talk about Cyril because his first time as Toastmaster, just delivering absolutely excellent introductions for everyone. Got to know a good amount about everyone, and they even answered the questions. So I absolutely love that. Good job.
Thank you.
Additionally, let's get into the speakers. Both Kelly and Ajita use something that's not too common for our club, and that's a quote. And I think with some speeches that we can actually use quotes to enhance the speech because we can take words that other people have said that might be known or even not known, but the people have this credibility behind them that if they're supporting your message, it can enhance your speech and help it make it more memorable. And I felt like both of you guys did a wonderful job with that tonight. Additionally, Kelly, just describing a mentor is always calling me to something higher. I think that's exactly what mentors do. So I loved it. Roberta, master of alliteration. Deb kind of went all the way into that, so I'm not going to stay there too long, but jabbing jerk was my favorite. Tangerine toddler was pretty close though. Looking onward and upward consistently throughout your speech was something that I loved. Maybe I got the number wrong, but I think you said you were 475 weeks pregnant, which is about 44 months. So I would call some concern if that was the case, but besides that, I absolutely loved it. And then Ajita, metaphor and a heart filled with fear stuck with me. One opportunity for you is you had your mother saying, why don't you stay somewhere close? I would have loved to hear it as like a dialogue. So like if you could have had her tone with it, I think it would have enhanced it even more. And then your use of pristine mountain ranges was perfect. And that's what I got, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Xavier, for that report. And with that, we conclude our evaluation sections. And before that, I would just like to add my little feedback of the meeting. I think the meeting went well. I love the fact that Cyril did an exceptional job at his first time being a Toastmaster. That was well done. And I also love the fact that the timer is keeping a timer on front of the screen because it gets visible much easier than the chat. It's just my preference anyway. And lastly, what I like that, which I would like to see from other grammarians as well as the background that Xavier put out of the word of the day, pristine. So it's like we can have papers or we can have the background, but that was a very creative idea. And with that, I conclude the general evaluation section and now hand over the control to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Tani. And as they mentioned, this is my first time being the Toastmaster. And if you have any comments to help me make my next performance pristine, I will be really happy. And I will now announce the winner of the table topics of the day.
Wait.
Suspense. So this guy really rocks. I don't know if you noticed his background previously. The winner of the day is Gaurav. Yeah, golden goal.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. How does that help me, Hassan, if you have the chocolates?
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Now I will go and pass on the control of the meeting to the president.
Hello again, everybody. Today we have a guest with us. It's Deb's co-worker, Francis. Hello, can you hear us? Can you just give a brief intro of yourself and how did you enjoy the meeting?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Fran. Sorry, I wasn't sure when I should introduce myself. I thought this was awesome. I thought it was really inspiring, and I've never watched anything like this. And I thought all the speeches were great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Fran. It was good to have you too, and hope you can come again in the next meetings too.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed myself. Thank you.
Everybody, please feel free to invite your friends and family for this session, and please free to send over the Zoom link to whoever you think will be the most beneficial out of this. If you would like to join the club, contact me, as Alashera is not here now. And if you want any roles in the next and the upcoming meetings, you can contact our VP Education, Sarah. And is there anything else people would like to talk about? Okay, then with that we can adjourn our meeting. See you next week, guys.
Gaurav, your backgrounds are just
yeah.
I just learned how to do this. So it's fun.
This one tonight.
I like tonight.
Yeah, Tana is pretty good.
Eden! Thanks, Eden.